Jadon Sancho is one of the most controversial signings in recent Manchester United history. When he joined from Borussia Dortmund in July 2021 for an eye-watering €85 million, the football world buzzed with excitement. Expectations were sky-high. Fans and pundits alike believed that Sancho would bring the flair, creativity, and explosive attacking prowess that had made him a star in the Bundesliga. Instead, his time at Old Trafford has been marked by a dramatic decline in his on-field impact, leaving supporters to ask, how did United spend such a huge fee on a player who now appears to have lost his spark? When Sancho arrived at Manchester United, he was heralded as the next superstar winger, a creative force who could light up the Premier League with his dazzling dribbling and incisive passes. At Dortmund, he was known for making defenders look amateurish with his skill, his quick feet, and his ability to change a game in an instant. United expected him to be the catalyst that would rejuvenate their attack, a player capable of providing both goals and assists in abundance. However, reality has been far more complicated. Instead of replicating his Dortmund magic, Sancho's involvement on the pitch has plummeted, and his once explosive performances have faded into a series of underwhelming displays. At Borussia Dortmund, Sancho was a key player. His statistics were impressive. He averaged about 73 touches per 90 minutes, reflecting his central role in creating and converting chances. His flair and confidence on the ball were evident in every match, and he consistently contributed to Dortmund's attacking output with both goals and assists. But since his move to Manchester United, those numbers have taken a sharp dive. His touches per 90 minutes have dropped to roughly 50, indicating not only a reduced influence on the game, but also a decline in his overall involvement. This decrease in activity has raised concerns among fans and analysts. Has the pressure of an €85 million transfer and the demands of the Premier League stifled his natural game? Statistically, Sancho's decline is stark. While at Dortmund, he netted 50 goals in 150 appearances, averaging a goal every 3 games. At United, he's managed just 8 goals in 50 appearances, which equates to a goal every 6.25 games. This significant drop in his goal-scoring rate has left many wondering if the move was overhyped from the start. How can a player who once lit up stadiums with his talent suddenly become a shadow of his former self? The numbers alone are enough to fuel endless debate, but they only tell part of the story. There's a multitude of factors at play behind Sancho's struggles. One key issue appears to be his confidence. Analysts have noted that unlike his Dortmund days where he confidently took on defenders and made daring moves, at United he seems often hesitant. His decision-making in the final third has become cautious, with him opting for simple passes instead of attempting the dribbles and shots that once defined his play. This lack of confidence on the field is reflected in his significantly reduced involvement. His touches per 90 minutes dropping from around 73 at Dortmund to about 50 at United is a clear indicator of his diminished role. One must ask, is the pressure of playing for one of football's biggest clubs simply too much, or has his game fundamentally changed in the transition? Communication and integration within the squad have also been major talking points. Former United first-team coach Benny McCarthy has highlighted that Sancho's quiet demeanor has led to communication issues with the coaching staff. When a player is not vocal or assertive on the pitch, it can create a disconnect that affects both individual performance and team dynamics. This lack of communication may be one of the reasons for his reduced involvement and lower performance levels. Adding fuel to the fire are reports that Sancho has been frequently traveling back to London, possibly due to homesickness, a distraction that could further hamper his focus and integration at United. How much do personal factors and off-field distractions contribute to his underwhelming output? It's a question that continues to puzzle supporters and critics alike. The high price tag for Sancho has only intensified the scrutiny. United's €85 million investment was not made lightly. It was a statement of intent. The club expected a transformative player, someone who would redefine their attacking play and be the spark that ignited a new era of success. Instead, Sancho's performance has been a harsh reminder that expensive transfers do not always deliver immediate returns. His goal-scoring record at United, averaging just 0.16 goals per game, is a far cry from the output he produced in the Bundesliga, and it raises uncomfortable questions about the club's transfer strategy. Was the fee justified, or was it a case of overhype based on past performances that may not be replicable in a different league? Critics point to the decline in his statistical performance as evidence of a major underachievement. At Dortmund, his involvement and production were sky-high, but at United, his numbers have dropped significantly. Not only has his goal-scoring rate fallen, but his overall presence on the pitch has diminished, a fact evidenced by the reduction in his touches per 90 minutes. This statistical decline is not just a reflection of a different league's difficulty, it suggests that Sancho's role in the team has been fundamentally altered, possibly due to a combination of high pressure, communication issues, and a lack of confidence. There are also comparisons to be made with his time at Dortmund. At Dortmund, Sancho was a dynamic force, known for his flair, his ability to beat defenders, and his knack for producing moments of magic. His performances in the Bundesliga set the benchmark for what many expected him to deliver at Manchester United. However, the stark contrast between his Dortmund days and his current form at United is glaring. While at Dortmund, he was a constant creative threat. At United, his involvement has dwindled, and his once bold attacking moves have become cautious and infrequent. This drop in performance has led many to wonder if the transition to the Premier League was simply too big a leap, or if the high expectations placed upon him have created an environment where his natural talent has been stifled. Moreover, his underwhelming performance has had a ripple effect on Manchester United's overall team dynamics. A player of Sancho's supposed quality is expected to be a catalyst in the attack, providing creative sparks and linking up seamlessly with the midfield. Instead, his reduced involvement, reflected in lower touches per 90 minutes and a noticeable lack of influence, has contributed to a diminished attacking threat. The style of play at United, which once promised excitement and creativity, now seems muted by his inability to consistently create or convert chances. This decline not only affects his individual legacy, but also undermines the collective potential of the team. A recurring theme in the debate over Sancho's performance is whether his struggles are due to the challenges of adapting to a new league, or if they reflect a deeper inherent flaw in his game. Some argue that the transition from the Bundesliga to the Premier League is an enormous leap, one that even the most talented players can find difficult. The physicality, pace, and tactical demands of the Premier League are on a completely different level, and it's entirely possible that Sancho's style, which flourished in Germany, has not translated effectively to Old Trafford. On the other hand, there are those who believe that his issues are compounded by personal factors and a lack of proper communication with the coaching staff. Reports of homesickness and frequent trips back to London suggest that off-field distractions may be further undermining his performance. The combined effect of these factors raises the uncomfortable question: is Sancho's decline a temporary setback during a period of adjustment, or does it signal a more fundamental problem with his ability to perform under pressure? The legacy of Sancho's transfer is now a subject of intense debate. When he was signed for 85 million euros, it was seen as a bold move to secure a player with limitless potential, a move that promised to bring creativity, flair, and consistent attacking prowess to Manchester United. Instead, his performances have fallen dramatically short of those lofty expectations, and the gap between the hype and reality has become painfully apparent. Every match where his impact is limited, every moment where his creative spark is missing, adds to the growing chorus of criticism that questions the wisdom of his transfer. The contrast between his Dortmund days and his current form is a constant reminder of what could have been. Fans who once marveled at his dazzling displays now watch with a mix of hope and exasperation as his involvement dwindles and his statistics decline. The high expectations that once surrounded his signing have turned into a heavy burden, and each underwhelming performance fuels the ongoing debate. Was this transfer overhyped, or is there still time for him to reinvent himself? Ultimately, the question remains: can Jadon Sancho turn his fortunes around and become the creative dynamo that Manchester United once believed he would be? Or is he destined to be a cautionary tale of unmet expectations and wasted potential? Will he rediscover the confidence and flair that made him one of Europe's most exciting talents at Dortmund? Or will the pressures of the Premier League and the weight of his transfer fee continue to stifle his performance? The answers to these questions will not only define his legacy at Manchester United, but will also serve as a stark lesson in the risks associated with high-profile transfers. What do you think? Can Jadon Sancho redeem himself and become the creative force Manchester United hoped he would be? Or is he destined to remain an expensive enigma? Let us know what you think in the comments, and make sure to like and subscribe.